Before we get going on today's episode, just to let you all know that on Saturday the 29th of April at 7 PM at the Kings Heath Cricket Club will be a KD comedy night, a stand-up comedy night, variety of different comedians including myself, James Brogan, Gerps Chima, Ed Sumner and a few others as well, with a headliner to be announced yet, but keep an eye on KD Comedy Inc. for information on everything coming up. But for now, enough from me, let's pass it back over to me. KD, hit the jingle.
Hello Internet, you're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with the Babyface and his fellow funny friend. Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
What were you afraid of going? How did you know you were going to go bald?
Oh, my dad was bald as fuck. My dad went balder quicker than my granddad did, and my granddad didn't really go that bald, but my dad went like proper, so I knew it was coming. But
I don't really have.
I need to keep it short because the more it grows, the less hair it seems like I look like I have. It's really weird. Like I like it, like basically down to my scalp, because if I let it grow too long, it makes me look balder. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's like I'll tell you exactly what it's like. When John Cena was on SmackDown the other day, a few weeks ago, the bald spot. You know, if he'd have shaved his head, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Yep.
But I'm not going to lie, I did not notice it at the time, though. But
I'll look out for it.
yeah. You understand his pain, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, just admit it, John. Just give in. Just be like The Rock.
But one thing we have to admit first is welcome everybody to another episode of the In Your House Comedian Podcast. The show where I sit down. Yeah. The show where I sit down with one of my fellow funny friends, talk about anything and everything that we bloody well want to. I am joined today by the man so nice they named him thrice and he shaved his head to get rid of the lice, Mr. Callum Jarvis-Jones.
That's pretty witty for you. Well done.
I'm a rap man, aren't I? You see?
Yeah. Oh, glad I didn't drop any massively rude words because I did not realise that this was already going. So.
Yeah, but I can just cut it out. That's the point. It's fine. You know me. One thing that I'm very good at is looking at stuff thinking, that's not okay to say. You can't say that.
Yeah. You're really good at editing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Self-censorship is really your thing.
You know the worst part is as well about that though. It's actually true as well. Like the stuff someone makes is so much worse.
Oh God.
I'm thinking about being reasonable. I don't think either of us say anything that bad. You're quite. I don't know. You don't seem to have any issues like that, do you? I don't know. I've only seen you perform like a few times.
Yeah, I'm not an edgelord comedian. That's how I always used to. Like I used
imagine yourself.
I used to want to be. That's a terrible grammar. But yeah, that's how I kind of. When I first thought about doing comedy when I was like 8. It was obviously like when, Frankie Boyle was getting big and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was the humor and, the horrible jokes and stuff.
I say he's an edgelord. That's what I consider an edgelord, Frankie Boyle.
Yeah, I think he's changed it around a little bit now. I think he kind of makes it smarter in inverted commas, but definitely when like in 2005 to 2009 it was very much just like he looks like a Down syndrome baby and that's the joke.
I remember one of the ones from his sketch show, which must have been a few years after that. He had what was it, like Loose Women, like the Taliban version or something like that, the Al Qaeda version, one of them.
Yeah.
And they just all sat around a desk and they started all like hijabs and that on, or burqas, sorry. And as soon as it started, they just all got pulled by the neck and hung. That was it.
mean,
yeah.
So that still works now, really, when you've seen what the Taliban are doing to fucking mannequins in Afghanistan, which is...
I haven't seen that.
Oh, God. So, obviously, like, when the Taliban came back, we all believed them when they said, oh, don't worry, we're progressive now. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Guys, don't worry. Now, they gave retail shops an option. They could either completely cover the female mannequins, or they could behead the female mannequins.
I love how that's the same to them.
The world right now is beyond parody. Like, satire is pointless. When like the fucking Prime Minister of England is sort of going, oh no, we don't need to pay anybody fairly. What we need, more maths, so you can work out how much you're not being paid. That's what you want.
Didn't he get in trouble for something today? Because I swear I saw something on the news when I was waking up in and out. Didn't he get in trouble again for something?
Yes, he had been a passenger in a car in, I want to say Lancashire, and he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, that was it.
Which is, of course, illegal.
No. Yeah. Not the worst thing in the world. I mean, at the very least, the only person who's going to kill those is himself, more than likely.
To put my Frankie Boyle hat on, let's fucking hope so.
I mean, to be fair, though, the richest Prime Minister we've ever had, by a large margin.
Yeah. It's he definitely knows what people like you and me have had to live through. You know, he knows what it's like. Yeah, he knows what it's like to, live in a single parent family who's unemployed on the dole. Definitely, he can really appreciate where we came from, where we come from. Yeah, he's definitely us and Rishi.
Yeah.
So fucking like that.
To be fair, though, it's still better than Liz Truss, who lasted. The only person that went out of office... Sorry, the next person, she was like the quickest. The next person that went out the quickest was somebody that died. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a sad indictment of, like... So obviously left-wing politics is the most... Well, left-wing politics is the most progressive. Labour should be the one... Like, in your head, you'd think the Labour Party are on the left. They'd be the first ones to have, a Indian Prime Minister of Indian heritage, or however we need to phrase it. They'd be the first one, or among the first ones, to have a female Prime Minister. No, every single one's been the Conservatives. So every single woman has been an unbearable cunt, and the Mr. Rishi Sunak very much in that same shit-filled boat.
Yeah.
Fuck this life.
I've just realised something from what you said then. See, we're going back on what we said right at the beginning. Like, I'm not an edgelord in my opinion, because it's like that. Like, I just don't buy into, like, what you said then about, or whatever we're supposed to refer to it as. That stuff. I'm like, ugh, fuck that shit. Just boring. Trying to... Oh, it's good. I take that back. It's good sometimes, obviously. It is good sometimes. There's certain things, like in regards to what you should say and how you shouldn't say them are good. But it's like the Me Too thing. There's a lot of ones that work really well, and then you're just going over the top. And
I think...
Bear with me. My illegal florist is calling me. Yeah, man.
Katie's getting drugs. Katie's getting drugs. Katie's getting drugs.
Hello?
Oh, no, he's not getting drugs.
Oh. Sorry, one sec, Callum.
Yes. Okay. Why have you got a rug as your chair? You sad, strange little man. Na 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 na. Old man river, that old man river, it just keeps rolling. Joint buts. Will he keep this in? Who knows? We'll find out, won't we? Anybody's wondering, what a lovely Dragon Ball Z snuddy that I'm wearing, which I purchased from Primark. So this was also made in India. Although the people that made this, definitely not as much money as Rishi Sunak. Very far from it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Dang it.
He's back.
How selfish of him, delivering me my goods earlier than I originally asked for.
Oh. What a sort that boy is.
Do you know what I'm saying? What was the time on that? About 8 minutes, wasn't it, or so?
I just kept riffing, so you might have some stuff to keep in. Yeah.
I always have a look because I'm very used to that from Nathan. The amount of times I've got to do something and Nathan's just gone on such a long tangent, not mention anything, gone back to edit it, and I'm just like involved in this weird ass story.
I did a little song. Hopefully you like it.
Okay. The Taliban thing though. Did you see like how that originally started when they went back in, like the whole beginnings of that? Of the sequel.
Taliban 2 Electric Boogaloo. What? As in, like, when Joe Biden was like, yeah, we're going to go. So they went, oh, cool, we're going to come back then.
Yes and no, but, like, that's, like, the one thing that people mainly look at. But the fact that, what country is it now? It's gone out of my head. Is it Iraq or Afghanistan? Which one is it?
Afghanistan is the one that they've recaptured.
Yeah.
Because that's where they were originally, yeah.
Basically, so America left, and then Afghanistan just didn't try at all to defend themselves. They just literally not a single thing was done. They just let them come back in.
Yeah. The army just folded like wet paper because we're like,
yeah.
No,
it was like
die.
It was like that bit in the South Park movie where Operation Black Shield are like, forget this and just fall down.
Yeah.
Not even sure if that's the right name, but you all know what I'm on about.
Yeah, it's not, but it's probably a better way of phrasing it than they did.
Yeah,
obviously,
close enough.
The way that they did it's offensive, but it's only offensive because that is literally basically American foreign policy, which is actually American foreign policy is have they got oil? Oh, what color skin have they got? Right, let's. They seem like they need some freedom and democracy.
Yeah. That's the thing that bothered me about the whole Ukraine thing. It's like people like how do people not understand? They're looking at it, like the amount of wars they ignore normally and don't even bother with and don't help with, and then the Ukraine stuff starts, and it's like you must be able to understand there's probably an ulterior motive for why they're helping. But no, they're just lovely. They're just lovely. America's just lovely people. So we.
Yeah, there's still like the Chinese are massacring Uyghur Muslims. I can't remember who it is now, but I think it's the people of Yemen just being indiscriminately killed. And this is not to say that Vladimir Putin's in any way right. He's a horrible, horrible man. But
I don't even know who's on whose side anyway. So
we don't like Putin. And we shouldn't like Putin.
I know that
part. Let's do funny things instead, because I've just depressed myself for about 25 minutes right now.
But that's the beautiful thing about the world right now. It's a complete calamity, which means endless material for us.
I think the thing is, this is why I don't do any topical material. Is because it's just like I say, it's beyond parody and satire.
It really is,
like credit to people who do. Like, there's lots of people with funny material out there, but I just looking at ever since 2016, ever since old fuckwit Trump got in, just seeing what has happened to the world. I think that's what made me go from a proper. Like attempting to have some kind of routine, just going, no, I need to just be stupid. I need to do silly things.
Yeah.
Because I just can't cope with what's actually happening. I need to just get on a stage with an A3 fucking thing and just be like, let's do some silly things for 10 to 20 minutes.
When you started saying A3 then, I was like, is he about to say you need to get on stage with a rifle?
I get up there with my AK-47 and I give them freedom.
You literally killed that night.
When did you get funny? Weird.
It happens sometimes, I know. Every now and then. I think I'm more like the other way, ironically, with what you were saying then. Like, I was doing a lot more of the silly stuff, but I want to do a lot more like the topical stuff. I like all that. It's what I complain about at home. So, yeah. But I like being silly too, because who doesn't like a silly good time?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I touched on at the beginning, when I first thought about getting into comedy, and then when I started thinking about it more seriously when I was like 30, my do you know who Bill Hicks is?
Yeah.
Of course you do, because you're a white comedian. Bill Hicks.
I've never watched it. That makes it better.
Bill Hicks is obviously the god of all, open mic level white boy acts, because he, if you've never seen him, which it sounds like you haven't.
I haven't. No.
That's kind of it. He did a lot of sort of rallying in his comedy against like the injustice of the world, and he.
Oh yeah.
He was a very smart man.
But you got to make sure you don't go over the level of like social justice warrior as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. He was. He didn't kind of go that route. I'd have to send you clips, like, no, but he did other bits like Goat Boy, which is essentially all about this, like, his like inner sex demon and like what it would say to women if it had the chance. But that was how I expected to be. Like, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I'm into politics. I can turn this into something funny. I couldn't really. And that's why I think I've said to you that being on the quiz off helped me kind of unlock like this would work. This can be a stupid silly thing. I can do this.
How do you figure out your voice more and that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same for me.
Yeah, and I think that's what every beginner level comedian, which I still count myself as, like,
same. Yeah,
I've not even had 100 gigs. Like, have
you not?
No. I've sort of tallied them. I keep a little. It was when I can't remember how long it was. It was maybe like a couple of years ago. But I thought, let me see if I can remember every gig I've done, and I could, and it wasn't many. And
you might have forgotten a load in that case, though.
No, I generally haven't, because my first. So I did, when I'd done my comedy courses, I did 2 gigs, and then I started running my own night, and I didn't do any gigs. So I literally did 1 gig a month for 19 months.
Oh, that 1 gig being your one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, yeah.
And then I did 2 gigs after that once my night stopped, and that's when COVID happened. So in the space of basically 2 years, it ended up roughly a gig a month is what I'd done. And since then, I think I'm up to like 80 something since coming back from COVID now. So I've done like, even then, it's like 60 gigs in 2 years. So it's still not a massive amount I've done.
It's been 2 years really since COVID's technically. I mean, it was more like mid 2022, weren't it? Like a year.
I mean, not really. Not when everything. I remember. I think my first gig back.
What's that?
Actually, yeah, it'll probably about 2 years this year, because I'm pretty sure my first gig back was one that Leanne Easthope, our mutual friend, used to run in Kidderminster.
Only friends, Leanne Easthope. Subscribe now.
Yes. Hey, if you're not getting any subsidies, Unless if you got like a free login.
Oh, me? Yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
And then throw in the plug, so later on I can watch her do a plug.
Good God, it's made me laugh twice, ladies and gentlemen. This is wow, we're doing well. We're doing well. I've seen him do actual stand-up and he didn't manage that, so that's good.
You know, that's one thing that I've when you were saying about trying to find your voice, that's one thing that I really wanted to do, was find like my natural comic voice, because I've realized when I get on stage, it's the main thing I want to do is figure out how to take my normalness on stage and just be myself on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find it a lot easier through podcasting to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Or what my voice is and who I am, you know, and being comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's it. And some people need to be themselves on the stage. Some people, kind of like wrestling, need to be an exaggerated version of themselves. And then there's other people who just need to be a complete polar opposite, which I feel like is more my thing. Getting up, being loud, getting in people's faces, talking to everybody. When, if you know me in real life, I'm just like, please don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. I don't want to fucking interact with you. Like,
a lot of comics are like that though. Social, really social, really good at it as well, but only when they want to be.
Exactly. That is the thing, and it's why I always say comedians are just people with an undiagnosed mental illness for the most part.
Yeah.
Like we've all got something that we're just weird. Not. Yeah, we just don't want to go talk to anybody about it. So what we do is we're going to talk about our dicks, we're going to talk about our tits, we're going to talk about whatever on a stage for 5 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, but at least if you do go and get a diagnosis, then you can be a check mark on the diversity checklist. You're good then.
Disability you're not wrong. Check. Not wrong. Mm-hmm. And I've known promoters who definitely have. Like, have we got a woman on the bill? Yes.
That's the main one you always hear, man.
Yeah. And I get it.
Yeah, of course.
Get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, there's two different ways of looking at it, and I think it's sort of a combination of both.
Yeah.
Are women not applying because they don't feel it's a friendly environment for them, or are women not applying for it because they're just not, they've not got that sort of visibility of it, or they don't?
I mean, both of them are kind of secondary to my opinion on it, because it's like, when it comes down to it as well, it's like from promoting, especially when you put on gigs or like podcasts or anything, you see it, there's just a lot less girls in comedy. It's just how it is. There's just a lot less.
There is, but is that because they're afraid to get into it because they see it as such a male-dominated area? This is why it's like so tough. And
I've never met a girl that has that opinion, though.
But that's because they're in comedy. How many women are there that aren't in comedy that might want to be? It's the same thing with
you can say that with anything, I guess, so couldn't you too?
Exactly. Like it could be the same with people of color. Like are they just? And there could be any number of reasons that are not getting into it. It could. I mean, Christ, I think about giving comedy up all the time because I just think I can't afford to do it.
Yeah. And it's putting assholes through torture sometimes anyway when you do it.
Yeah, exactly. My new mantra is essentially it's either the best shit hobby in the world or the shit is good hobby. Like, it's terrible. Like, it's horrible.
But arguably, this is the hardest. If you go on to make it somewhere, from when you listen to like comics that have gone on to make it, this is like the hardest time.
Yeah.
And these kind of gigs too, when you're performing to like less people as well. When you're performing to a big amount of people, laughter's infectious and all that, too. And you got the trust as well.
I will say though, some of my best gigs have been to like 3 people. Because of what I do, it is literally just like, right.
Yeah, true.
You're all fucked. Because I'm just gonna keep rattling at you. And you've got no out. You're my captive audience. And I've had I honestly can't say I've had many terrible gigs. I mean, the one that I performed down in Tamworth, that was it Tamworth?
What?
Is that right?
Oh, are you on about that one at
That one.
Was that
I
think it was Tamworth, yeah.
Yeah, that was like on my little sort of thing where I note down all my gigs.
Yeah.
Some of them I give little sort of symbols to indicate, like,
good, bad.
I feel this went really well. It was a great crowd, or I think I did really well, but the crowd weren't very good or whatever. And that one is down as I did really well. However, the actual
everything else bad.
Yeah, just
all above.
I've never. Yeah, it was.
I mean, I didn't see it.
Feral is the way that I would describe the audience. Because you were only there for about 15 minutes ish,
something like that. Yeah,
man, as they got drunker through that night, and when you're headlining, like I was,
yeah,
and there's 13 acts in the middle who are not really being timed, and I'm just sat there, and everyone that comes off stage, I'm just like, you did really well there, mate. And they all go, oh, cheers, yeah. When are you on again? I'm like, I'm on last. I just go, oh.
I'm going to have to go now. Was that your first time doing last as well, you said?
That's my first and only time being a paid headliner. I've gone on last at other nights, but you're not headlining. If you're not being paid more, you're not being allotted more time, you're not a headliner.
Yeah.
You're just another act who's going on last.
It happens to be going on last. That's a good way to look at it, actually, yeah. Because I've had ones like that, like back at the beginning. It's like, it's not headlining.
Yeah. You're just the idiot who wasn't one of the 6 people to go, oh, can I go early? Which fucks me off.
Wait, what do you mean?
So I remember there's a night in Leeds, which is called Scratch and Sniff, which is basically, it's mainly aimed at people trying out new material and people who are very new to the scene.
I like the name. That's a good name.
It's run by the guys from Valhalla of Decadence, who are very good. One of them is called Balthazar Dark, the character is called Balthazar Dark, who plays a wrestler. He's very good. Very good.
Okay, every name after Scratch and Sniff I didn't like as much.
Oh,
you said.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what that one you said was. Valhalla
of Decadence.
Oh, okay. It wasn't one word.
Anyway, so I sort of, for a night, I just said, like, because there's 2 guys that run it, and I just said, like, they asked me if I could just help do that night because they both had other gigs. I was like, yeah, of course I will. And that's where I remembered why I hated running gigs, is because there was about 8 acts on. 6 of them asked if they could go on in the first half.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we do need maths until we're 18, because this isn't workable, is it, folks? So guess what? It very much annoys me. It's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, if you came to do a gig in Leeds and you went, can I go on first? I've got to go back to Birmingham. Of course you can. You've got to travel a ridiculously long way.
Yeah.
If your excuse is, can I go on first? I've got to be up early
to have a dump.
I live 15 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And I've got a chicken in the oven.
Yeah. No, you can't. Think about it.
Now, oh man, you know what? I really enjoy promoting and putting on gigs, and MCing especially. I really enjoy MCing. But it's thankless, like promoting gigs as well. Unless it goes perfectly, then that's kind of as good as it can. Yeah,
and it is like you say, if it doesn't go perfectly, but on the night, I've done it where I've kind of gone, so many things didn't work. other people don't necessarily know it, but you know it.
Yeah.
And it eats away at you. Or you'll think, oh, that didn't go too bad, all things considered. And you'll just get these little snippy comments in like the Facebook Messenger group afterward, just like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should maybe think about changing this. Like, oh, cool. Enjoy that bucket split you got. I can do without that bit.
So I don't mind it as much afterwards. When it's people that have already been involved in doing stuff, I don't mind. Like if people that have been on the podcast, for example, after they'd been on, if they gave me little ideas of how to improve it or little, like ideas they had, that wouldn't bother me particularly. But if somebody that had never been on, that, I hadn't even asked to come on, or just completely out of nowhere was like, oh, you should do this, then I'd be like, oh, no, you're not even involved.
Yeah. Now that's it. It's not necessarily like if it was constructive criticism,
yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
It's when you solely point out an issue. It's like, that one very good. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was like, I think I told Alex this as well. Like when we was at the quiz off, which is a whole nother thing too, the one at the Actress and Bishop. I was like annoyed, like with all the stuff, like already stressed out with them things. And then he walked in, and the first thing he did was just start. I can't remember what he was insulting. He was insulting something. He was only having a laugh and joking around, but it was just the wrong time. And I was like, oh man,
yeah.
I can't remember what it was now, but
I know what you mean.
Mm.
But it was
but promoting is
a time of high tension for everybody.
Whoa, where's my camera gone?
Oh no. Oh, thank God his camera's gone. I don't look at him anymore.
This goddamn camera. You can't handle my beauty. All eyes better bask in my beauty. Oh, I've done okay, let's make this work again. My own version of Keith Lee's song.
Oh yeah.
That's not working, is it still?
Nope.
Oh.
I do think
Hey,
there you go. I do actually think, well, I didn't like that song at first, but it grew on me, and now it is on my playlist, like when I go to the gym.
Yeah. The AEW one.
Yeah.
I
think I actually prefer it to his WWE, like his original one in WWE and NXT.
Yeah. I can't remember it that much, but this one has been in my ears more. I've known it more. I wasn't a huge NXT person at that point with Keith Lee. I'm trying to remember who else was around. Was that Karrion Kross was the champion when he was like North American champ?
No, it was Adam Cole, because Keith Lee beat Adam Cole to get both belts.
Yeah.
And then like a month later or something is when he got called up and put in a tennis skirt. I think it was Karrion Kross that beat Keith Lee for the title, I think.
Okay, that would make. I remember them two together somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Karrion Kross that beat him.
You might have an opinion on this. Karrion Kross, better without or with hair?
Oh, without.
So we've got to the wrestling portion of the podcast now, people.
Yeah,
we'll come out of it probably. So.
Yeah. No, Karrion Kross is better without hair. He was better.
Really?
Yeah. No, I just the
his head looked like a penis.
That's how bald heads look.
Well, only they've got like.
I've literally got a line down my hair, so
It works better though when you see you from behind, and when you got those little neck ripples when you're a bigger person with muscles or whatever. Yeah. That's when it's best, because then it looks like a folding of skin, shall we say?
Yeah. No, he was better without the hair. He just doesn't. I don't know. Or if he had a better haircut for what he's meant to be, because like your haircut is more badass than his is, because his is just like a high like curtain thing when he gets all.
Yeah, it's growing though. Give him time. I feel like he must have had like a hair transplant or something, because if he was able to grow hair before, it's one of those things most people just do grow hair, in some manner. But he was always completely clean shaven.
From what I've heard, it was literally just like, he just like pretty much every day just shave his head.
I was just one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Scarlett's into it.
Maybe.
It must be.
I'm also Bray Wyatt. Nah. This is the first time I've thought, Nope. Don't want anything to do with this.
Really?
Cool. Yep. I was on board for everything Bray Wyatt did, pretty much. I loved the Fiend thing and like the split personality thing.
Same.
This is just going on so long. He's been back since what? October? September?
Yeah, what was it? Was it Extreme Rules?
I
think it was. I love his song.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I skip through his entrance now because I just know what's coming. Like, just get me to the 15 minutes of talking. Mm-hmm. Let's see if he actually says anything. Oh no, he didn't. Oh, here's Uncle Howdy. Okay.
You know what this feels like to me though? It felt like it since the beginning, and it's very different for any other wrestling storyline. I feel like all of this is still like the prequel to the story.
That's fine, what I mean? But do something.
The prequel's always the most boring. That's why they do it second or third normally in normal films, you know.
Yeah. Like if Uncle Howdy would have been doing stuff in matches and then a backstory is revealed, fine. All he's doing now is telling a story and now he's having his first match after 4 months.
Yeah.
In a pitch black match.
That part, God knows what that's about. That's the one part where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I literally don't know how I feel because I don't know what it is.
Nobody does. I'm fairly certain they don't either.
Oh no.
I also listen to the After the Bell podcast that Corey Graves does, and LA Knight was on that, and just like, so what do you think it's going to entail? Even LA Knight was like, oh, I don't really know.
You know the funny thing about this though, I've gotten more excited and more into LA Knight than anyone else. Like he's cool.
Yeah. LA Knight, he's been. Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. So many catchphrases.
Exactly. Like, he's been good. He sort of came along in TNA at the back end of when I was watching it, and he was. I could tell he was really good on the mic. And
what was his name? Now I know I've heard it.
Eli Drake.
Yeah. I think I like LA Knight more.
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, I think Eli Drake is his real name. I think, but yeah, LA Knight is more
weird.
Showbizy. Yeah. It's more wrestling.
Him as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
So yeah, hopefully he will not be stained by this shitty brush, and will be able to gracefully sail on to an actual feud, and hopefully one day hold some good titles.
You know, one thing that must give a lot of people like belief in LA Knight is the fact that you say about this thing, hope the shitpost doesn't rub off too much. Not many other people could go from maximum male models and literally in a couple of weeks be this.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked to know how he started if you didn't see it.
Yeah. Just 2 weeks just going, no. And then just, I'm going to... My daddy, Triple H, says I can be my proper character again now. Goodbye. Although, I will say the... on the WWE YouTube, the Making It Maximum little 5-minute things that they do. It's Marseille, Mansoir, Maxine. There's some nice little 5-minute things. Like,
they know they like that they know their characters and where they're going, what they're doing, you know.
Yeah, and I genuinely think they should be used because, you know, at the very least, Mansoir, he is a decent like wrestler.
So is Marseille.
He's
a big dude.
Yeah,
he's one of those big guys who's trying to wrestle too much like a smaller guy because he's really tall.
Yeah, he is. Well, he used to be an NFL player.
Yeah, okay, but he's like over 7 foot, isn't he? Like he's proper tall, kind of big guy.
Oh no, he's not that big. But I think he's like 6'8", 9. He is a big. Big.
Because I remember he was bigger than Dijakovac. He always seemed quite big, and I'm glad he's back in NXT from what I've seen. In his original Dominic Dijakovac thing.
Yeah.
Although I don't watch NXT, do you?
No, I've not watched it since it changed to. Well, I watched a couple of weeks when it was NXT 2.0. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, I didn't even start. So, man, it was so hard to stay into wrestling when Triple H had left completely and Vince McMahon was just the stories, you know. And then he left and it was amazing. And now he's coming back and I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, in theory, he's just there in an executive capacity to sell the company. But when you hear that, like, Triple H has been saying in these talent meetings, like, oh, yeah, Vince does talk to me about creative, but he says that I get the last word.
Yeah, he gives us suggestions and that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, it depends. You'd think like the board would have the power to stop that, but at the same time, he now has because it's not just him that came back; it was two other yes men of his basically at the same time. So he has like the deciding vote kind of thing in the board too. Hence why he's the chairman now.
Well, he has the deciding vote overall because he personally owns, I think it's
most
like
shares,
40% of the shares.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I think it was about 40. I remember hearing that number.
But his like voting power, because like I own some shares in Lloyd's, and every year I got given them by my granddad. They're worth nothing. But every year you get sent a thing, which is basically like it's like a meeting of shareholders and they decide things.
Wow.
Yeah, I would never go. Jesus Christ.
I say, I'm sure your voice would definitely be listened to there.
Yeah. Excuse me. What's a share? What does it do? But so even in those meetings, even though he has 40% of the shares, even if the other 60% of those shareholders, if they all said, we want you to leave, his actual voting power overrides them because his shares are more powerful than theirs.
He's a majority shareholder.
It's like, it's really weird and fucking corrupt as shit the way it's laid out. But
yeah, I mean, I don't mind, like, this is one thing I said, like, it's his company as well, so I don't mind, like, he's on the side of it. I'm absolutely fine with, especially him coming and doing the business stuff, because one thing you can't argue, Vince is a good businessman.
Well, you don't become a billionaire on paper anyway without, you have some level of business acumen to be able to get there.
And plenty of money in the pockets. Did you see that today he settled one of the sexual assault charges with the old referee lady?
Yeah, I didn't see
lots of money.
Yeah, I didn't say how much it was for, but I heard it was millions.
Lots of money.
Yeah,
I didn't see how much either, but I just assume it was millions, definitely.
I mean, personally, I know that if I'm innocent of a crime, I pay the other person millions of dollars to just go away. That's what I do. Yeah,
To be fair, though, if you had billions and they were just like, I'm gonna grind you through the thing, like pull your name through the mud. I'm gonna turn public opinion. Just give me $1 million, $3 million, and we don't have to bother. You can chillax. You can take some more paralegals out for wine and whatever you do, and get the same place that Bill Cosby used to, I assume. Oh, God love me. I cannot wait to see the documentary that Netflix are doing, because apparently it's not a fluff one. It's like a legit one. But I don't know.
Yeah.
He needs to die first for that to happen.
Yeah, probably. That's it. I watched when that the Vice one came out, which obviously by the people behind Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
I much like most wrestling fans, like, oh, this is gonna be really interesting. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's literally clips from Dark Side of the Ring, which reference Vince McMahon. This is pointless.
I don't think I saw that one. I don't remember it. When was that? Like recently?
Yeah, don't bother.
Oh, okay.
It was maybe November time. Yeah, it was like you could tell it was just hastily patched together just to try and get viewing figures on it. It was.
Have you seen the screenshots and that for what's it called now? Iron Claw? think it's the Iron Claw. The film that's coming out with the MJF went off to record a part for the Zac Efron.
No, I've not seen anything about it.
Fucking Zac Efron looks fucking beefy in it. Do you know the Von Erich story at all?
Yeah, I mean, one of my when I worked at CEX, I borrowed when WWE did its DVDs. There was, and I imagine it's on the network. There was the the story or something like the triumph and tragedy of WCCW or something like that, which is basically about the Von Erichs. And I felt like it was really interesting. Like there was just like this little golden. Well, WWE always do pretty good documentaries, I think.
Yeah, that's the one thing they do.
When they're not sucking their own dicks. When it's about something else, they usually do a really good product. But yeah, the Von Erichs is like. It's really interesting and really sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
and there's some random stuff to it, like the whole foot thing. I'm not sure which one is the main character, like who Zac Efron is, and he's obviously the main one. I'm not too sure which one that is and which one that is in the story, whether he's the one who lost a foot or not. I think so.
Well, yeah, so that would make him Kerry Von Erich, because he was the one that lost his foot in the motorbike accident, I think.
And just didn't mention it for years.
Yeah, and kept it hidden. Like,
yeah.
80s wrestling, man. Weird.
Let's move away from wrestling for a little bit, though, because not everybody is. I tell you what, we can move away from wrestling and we'll go into something that is draped in just as much lore, just as respectable. Something, it's like a sport. Have you watched Love Island, sir?
Fuck off.
That's a yes, I assume.
I don't have live TV. My television is not hooked up to an aerial anywhere.
Yeah.
B, I would rather shit in my hands and clap than watch that fucking wank. My combined watching time of Love Island since it has begun is maybe 20 minutes at the very most.
Oh, so you checked it out?
Yeah.
Very loosely, but
it's like you think wrestlers are bad actors. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. To be fair, it's not acting though, but they are all constantly acting. I find the funniest part is what might seem like acting more than anything. It's a load of pretty people that have no game because pretty people don't need game. They just stand there and talk to other pretty people. We have to put work in, We have to learn to chatter. We need some, as they say, some good chat. I think that's what they say.
Yeah,
good chat. The banter.
Got to have the banter.
Mm-hmm.
Christ, I do not miss seeing that on fucking Tinder. Oh, Jesus. If you don't have banter, swipe away.
It's like, if you're having to refer to it as banter, then you probably don't have it either.
More
than likely.
Yeah, no. I put Love Island in the same category as something like Made in Chelsea or The Only Way is Essex, in that it is an entirely scripted, fake, real life. Like, they're very controlled.
Yeah.
They wouldn't just let them go wild. I always remember when I did my degree and we watched a documentary, and you could kind of see where, because this documentary, it was basically just like a static documentary, just literally a camera on a guy, but you could see like the cuts, so you could see his head moving.
Yeah.
And I always remember my lecturer saying at the end of that, it's like, just try and imagine what they've maybe cut out there as well. Oh, imagine the things that you don't see that they had to get rid of. And that's just how I see, like, they film, it's 24 hours in a day that they compress down into an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so they've got a lot of time to be like, okay, let's get everything ready and set up. And like, right now, you tell her how big your dick is. I don't know what they do, but
Yeah. There is loads of other bits I've seen on there. I class it more in like the category of like Big Brother, that kind of stuff. Big Brother definitely was like legitimately they were just in the house like all that time because they used to do the thing on E4 and that where you could go on and watch it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
God, my mom used to do that all the time. It was hellacious just watching someone sit there. Like, why are we watching this?
Yeah. Oh, look, they're sleeping. Oh. Riveting, mum.
The one thing I like about Love Island, though, I will say, watching it lately, I like the psychology behind it for the same reason I like Big Brother. Like, what not only like people with no game and all that, but then watching like a group of dudes and they're all pretending to be okay with the other ones trying to flirt and stuff with the girl they're with. And then watching them not be annoyed with each other, but then get annoyed at something else, and it's like completely just like the first time out of like the bits I watched, I actually saw an argument yesterday.
Right.
With a dude where it looked like someone was going to go to fisticuffs. It's going to start again later, so we'll have to see.
Drama on the island.
Like, I have been with that girl for 2 whole days. What are you talking about? We are basically married at this point.
I was going to say, that's my wife. What are you doing?
Yeah, my wife. Yeah. I think you need to.
I think that's it. I think if they did do it like Big Brother, where there was like, you know, you could go to the ITV website and there was literally a live stream there, I would maybe be a little bit less critical of it because you could then sort of confirm that a lot of stuff isn't staged, that it is genuinely like, this is actually happening. There's no interference. This is happening. But they don't do that, and they won't do that because they need to be able to set things up.
Yeah, you're probably right, to be fair with that, because I don't think enough. There's always stuff going on in it as well, so it's got to be to a point because there's so much money and it's so popular. That's the thing I didn't realize for so long how big it is.
Yeah,
and it's the last thing where it's okay, where like political correctness doesn't really come into it, because everywhere else is like a guy can't walk up to a girl and flirt and try and talk to them, and you know, for the sake of sleeping with them, that's wrong. So
that's it. It is literally just like, here's your chance to ogle however many is it, 12 sexy people. They're all going to be in their bathing suits, basically naked.
Yeah,
there you go. I mean, it's like, is I assume, no, I don't think it is. Take Me Out, that's not on anymore, is it?
Don't think it's not particularly cancelled, but I haven't seen a new series of it for ages.
Yeah, but that's it. That was a similar thing. It was like a meat market for men, basically. And
yeah,
it
was that way around, yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of those where I thought, nah, this doesn't, like, if this was the other way around, this would be like creepy and horrible. And I think this is creepy and horrible as well. You know, like, I don't like this.
Well, it's more that way around it's creepy and horrible, isn't it? Because the other way around wouldn't be as bad socially anyway. A load of one woman picking between a load of men. She's got the power then, you know, that whole idea.
No, but they don't, do they? Because it's if it was the other way around and you do exactly the same, it's the women who, you know, choose the men. They're the ones who like boo 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 boo, and then I mean, yeah, the guy would choose at the end, but at the same time, if it was, you know, 30 men, one woman, like, and for the third time in a row, every single light is still on. Because let's face it, men.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're gonna literally be picking between the whole freaking list of them every time.
Yeah. You'd like literally you'd probably have to have half a face to make a guy turn the light off. And even then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name for it. There was a name for something that one of my mates used to say. It's like look down hot. I was like, well, what's that then? It's like when, you know, some girls, you can look at them and they're just hot in general. Some girls are only hot when you look down and they walk past you. They can be really hot. So it's like ignoring the face, basically. That is just wrong to say. In PC world, that's why I said it, do you see?
The politically incorrect terms in America would be a butterface.
Oh, yeah.
And the one that I always liked, which is from. Have you ever heard of Viz magazine?
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah.
So they had a thing in it called a Profanisaurus, which is basically like every month they'd have like a sort of little 2 pages worth of like swear words or rude words and stuff.
Okay.
And the phrase for that is a BOBFOC, which stands for Body Off Bear Watch, Face Off Crime Watch. And the thing is, I count BOBFOC as like being it's not gender exclusive. It counts for both.
Yeah. All these things
you can see some fucking ripped guys who have a fucking like I've seen wrestlers. I'm like, mate, you're jacked, but fuck me, your head looks like you've been run over.
As I think, growing up as wrestling fans as well, we've got more likely chance to feel bad about our bodies or something, because we're watching wrestlers, big jack people.
Oh, Jesus,
you do like commentating as well, don't you? So you're nearer to them now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you were near someone recently. Isn't someone? I saw one of your profile pictures where you're commentating next to someone. They're in their pants, but they're like, happy to be in their pants because they don't look like us.
I think that'll probably be the one with Sheikh El Sham, who's making a big name for himself. He's in like ICW and stuff. Like he's getting around. Yeah, like it's in my life. It has been exceptionally rare that I could say I've been happy with my body. Yeah, like being in close proximity to people who actually work out and get somewhere with it. Wow.
I used to be at one point, and then I remember it wasn't exactly too much work I had to put in at that time to do it. I used to go to the gym like 2 hours, like every other night.
Yeah.
But now I think how much work I'd have to put in now to get back to where I was, probably like 3 or 4 times as much because we old now. Yeah, how old are you again?
I'm 35.
Oh, so you older than me.
I mean, me old.
You especially old.
That's why me has to go to the gym. Otherwise, me die.
Oh, yeah. I was starting to notice that now. There's like little aches and pains in it, which apparently go more if you go to the gym and use them. Is that what it is?
I mean, it's not even been that for me. It is literally just because so when we originally started doing the quiz off and stuff, I worked in a warehouse. And it was ungodly hours. Like I was waking up at 2 a.m. to go to work for 3 a.m. to finish work at 10 a.m. But for 4 or 5 days in a row, I would be doing 20,000 steps and lifting hundreds of crates.
Yeah.
So like for 3 months, I was on a constant workout regime, and my body was fucking sick. And then I got a job, which I'm still in, where I sit down all the time, and now I just feel sick. I weigh more now than I ever have, and that's why I was like, nah, I need to start going to the gym regularly now and actually trying again, because
I think it's more I was one of those people that during the pandemic I lost weight more than anything. But it was like muscle as well. I got like no muscle now, for example.
Yeah.
I'm going back to I can walk a lot. I do a lot of walking too.
Yeah.
I know I measured something yesterday and it was like 10,000. I was thinking about doing this thing where you're supposed to walk like for February, walk 10,000 steps every day. And then I measured it yesterday and I remembered how much 10,000 how far 10,000 steps is. And then doing that every day for 28 days, I was like, I don't know about that, Don't know about that. I don't know the time in general. Like today, I wouldn't even have the time to make those steps up. How many have I done today? I've only done 2,500.
Yeah,
because I've slept on a day, like I said.
This is like this obsession with steps.
We were a good band.
Nope, not giving you that one. Nope. Red flag on that one. No.
Are you a PlayStation man?
A PlayStation man. I mean, I've got a PlayStation 3 that I'm pretty sure is knackered.
Oh. Well, even more so for you. This will probably be a bother then, or not. I don't know. PS4s are being phased out now, apparently. So
I mean, I've been wanting to buy a PlayStation 4 for some time now because I don't give a fuck about PS5. I want to get a PS4 because I don't have one, and the games are cheap.
Yeah.
Same reason I've got an Xbox One. Games are cheap. I've built up a nice little library of games from the last generation that obviously I've never played. But to buy either of them new is impossible. Like, you've not been able to do it. I mean, I've been looking for about a year. I got my Xbox One through Gumtree. But weirdly, PlayStation 4s, people are selling them secondhand.
Yeah.
But they're still very expensive. Like, it's very odd. And even at like CEX. Yeah, I mean, I paid. So I've got an Xbox One X, which is like, you had the original Xbox One,
yeah,
the
Xbox sexier one,
Slim, and then you have this one, which is like the more powerful one.
I got that for 100.
Yeah, I got that for 130.
Oh wow, okay.
With pretty good deal. I got like 4 games with it as well, and a controller. I was like, that's pretty sweet. PS4s, man, because I want to get a PS4 Pro, because I'm just basic. I don't know. But yeah, like they're like £200 still, and I can't justify that in any way.
For a Pro, I wouldn't do that for. But mine's just the normal one.
Yeah.
But now though, like games that come out, like they announce these new games that are coming out, and like, I don't remember what it was. It was like the new Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man. There was a few other games like the new Horizon Zero Dawn. A few others too, like not coming out on PS4 at all, just on PS5.
Yeah.
So I don't know how worthwhile it would be to get a PS4 now.
I'm not bothered about playing new games though. That's the thing. Like the newest, because I have a ridiculous amount of consoles. Like I have too many. Some people would say I'm a hoarder. I prefer the term collector. But the newest game I have, which I got brand new, was Pokemon Scarlet, and I'm not gonna lie, like I've completed it and I'm still playing it. I fucking love it. There's a lot of issues with it, but as a Pokemon game, this is like the Pokemon game that you can imagine when you were a kid. I just like it so much. I can't emphasize how much I enjoy it.
Is it the same kind of style as the old ones?
I mean, basically, yeah. You can go around catching stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's the good. They went away from that too much at one point.
And you can see them all. They're all there. Wow. If you don't want to catch them, you don't have to catch them. They're moving around. Some of them will chase you. Some of them will run away from you. And it's just fucking
So
brilliant.
It's not just walk around and then suddenly you're in a battle. It's walk around. I can see them around.
You can choose when you fight them.
That's very cool.
Pokemon. So you can go, I've got that one. I don't need that one, but I don't have that one. Let's run after that one. And it's so good. And I love Pokemon Scarlet. It's amazing.
What's that on?
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch. Which one was that? That's the handheld one, isn't it? That you can put on the telly as well.
Yeah.
Switch between the two. Yeah.
Well, unless you're like me and a collector, and you have the one that you can put in the television dock. And you also have the one that is only handheld, the Nintendo Switch Lite, because I make poor financial decisions.
Not poor. You've got them. You can sell them on. They're still there.
How dare you? I will never sell my babies. I've got 2 fucking knackered laptops that I've not got rid of. I can't even fucking... I'm really bad.
What?
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, how much is how much did you pay for like the DS or the Switch? Lite. It's just handheld, you said.
So I got that in lockdown when I was living with my comedy friend, because he basically he burst into my room and was like, Nintendo have a deal on Nintendo Switch Lites. I think it's like £180, and it came with the previous Pokemon game, Pokemon Sword or Shield, installed, and
that's a weird name.
Carry case. Well, there's Pokemon Sword, there's Pokemon Shield,
Well, yeah,
in the same way now there's Pokemon Scarlet, there's Pokemon Violet. So yeah,
Pokemon Yellow, Red, Pokemon Silver. Even Silver and Gold is a bit of a stretch, actually. Crystal, what's that about?
Okay, Grandad. It's bad enough that you basically did what my fucking mum and my granddad used to do, which is like, oh, you playing on your Game Boy? It's not a Game Boy, it's PlayStation. Whatever, Game Boy. It's like, whatever it is, a DS, I don't know. You fucking play it in your hands.
Yeah. That sounds cool, though, man. I might actually look into trying to get one of them. I've never bothered with a Nintendo or any of that kind of stuff. I've just never been into any of the games that are on that.
It always depends, like, because I've always loved Pokemon from the first one, playing Blue.
Yeah,
like I had everyone up to so I had Pokemon Blue, and then the next generation and then I had Pokemon Yellow.
Yep.
That was adapted so it could also have full color on the Game Boy Color. Then I had Pokemon Gold.
That was the one I did too. Gold.
Yeah. Then I had Pokemon Ruby. Then I had Pokemon Pearl, and then I had Pokemon Black. And that was like I'd gradually done less and less. Like on Pokemon Blue, I'd completed the Pokédex, done everything.
Yeah.
On Pokemon Gold, I'd done everything. I'd nearly completed the Pokédex. I completed it on Pokemon Yellow as well. And then Pokemon Ruby did a bit less. Pokemon Pearl didn't even get to like the end bosses. And then Pokemon Black. I bought, again, this was through Facebook Marketplace. I bought 2 Nintendo DS Lites for like £30. It was selling 2, and they were like £15 each. I
don't blame you in that case.
No, it was selling 2, £20 each. Right, mate, I'll give you 30 quid for both because I'm a collector. And I didn't even put it in inverted commas. I made it seem like a serious collector. And then I started playing Pokemon Black again. And then Pokemon Scarlet came out, and because of where I work, we sold it. And at the time, I had a 20% discount.
Oh, when you was working at CX, yeah.
Oh no! Where I'm working now.
Oh,
sold Pokemon Scarlet. So yeah, I bought it. And it's still, with that discount, it's still cheaper than anywhere that sells it now. I've forgotten how we got on this topic. But yeah, I really like Pokemon Scarlet.
Yeah. I didn't even play like past Crystal was the last one I went to. I went Red, Yellow, Gold, Crystal, and that whole time from Red I had a Zapdos that I took along the whole time.
Oh yeah.
It was a badass by the end of it. Never used a rare candy on it either.
Oh,
it still wasn't even 100. It was like 90 something.
Oh,
they just bash things. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I'm playing. Oh yeah, one thing I was going to say to you though. One thing that you might appreciate then, if you're not into like the brand new games and stuff, have you seen the PlayStation Plus like game catalog you can get now?
I know that they've just announced an update because obviously I know that before now, everyone has just kind of gone, this is terrible in terms of like the old games.
Yeah, the old stuff. Yeah,
there's like 20 PlayStation 1 games or something you could play on it. Or like
classics,
5 PS2s or something. But I think are they updating that now? They're getting more classic games on.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't play the classics that much.
Oh.
I'm just into like the ones that they bring out, like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've been playing that lately.
All the Assassin's Creed. I've wanted to play. Assassin's Creed's a really funny one because I remember playing the very first one. I
Yeah.
wasn't that into it. But on my PC, because I have a gaming PC as well, because why wouldn't I? Poor financial decisions. Because obviously I've got like the Epic Store and everything, and they give away free games every week. I think I've got like 3 or 4 Assassin's Creed games that are on there.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's too many. And the only one I've really put any time, I can't even say I put much time into it, was Black Flag, which is meant to be the best one. And it was fun. I've done like 2 or 3 hours on it. But sometimes, especially because every game's fucking open world now, and sometimes when you get given that thing of like, here you go, do what you want, it can be a little bit like
overwhelming.
I need some guidance, please. Just let me go down a corridor for a couple of hours, then open the world to me. There, I'll feel safe then.
Yeah. Look, I like the Assassin's Creed, but I've got a bit bored of them in that way too. That's probably because I played Valhalla, then I played something else, and then I went all the way back straight away then to play Odyssey, and then straight away after that played what was the one after that called? The one in between. Oh fuck! That was the one I was just playing last. Okay, it was called something. That one.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Yeah, I like them though. Assassin's Creed are cool, but they're a bit. Yeah, I didn't like Black Flag and that though, all the ship stuff. I didn't like that stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, that's always one that people say is like the favorite one. I like maybe like a year or so ago when I was mainly gaming on my PC. I played through Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
I thought that was kind of pretty much perfect for what I wanted. It was very open. You can move around the map, but the map was small.
Yeah.
So you knew you had this confined area. You could move around it all, but there was
you were still on a path in some manner. Yeah,
exactly. And like I loved that game. Like I paused. Like it was one I didn't go away from. I didn't take my attention away from it. I saw it right through to the end. I was like, that is a brilliant game. And I started Batman Arkham City, and then I immediately had the problem that I mentioned, where it's like, nah, this is too big now. This is too big. I don't like it. I feel like I have so much choice, and I'm not very good with choice.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there. I'm like it with like clothes and stuff, or like the weapon you can have. I'm bad with that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Just make this simpler for me, please.
So I couldn't play RPGs for ages. Now everything's essentially like got RPG tendencies.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, like, I'm saying all this in my collection of games that I've bought. I've got The Witcher 3, which is a massively open world game. I've got Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a massively open world game. Although saying that, I did love Red Dead Redemption 1. Like the Grand Theft Auto series, anything Rockstar do, really.
Yeah. I don't know if I've played Red Dead. I went to play Red Dead Redemption 2 when it was on the PS4 catalog recently, the game catalog. I went onto it, downloaded it, and it was literally the next day it got taken off, so I couldn't play it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was a bit of a ball ache. Yeah. Thank you for your sympathy there.
Yeah.
You see it pouring through.
Fuck. Tough luck, loser. I just bought it.
You don't play like any of the Elder Scrolls or them. Elden Ring, isn't it?
I do want to play Elden Ring because I'm an idiot. Even though I've tried to play Dark Souls and hated it. I hated everything about it.
Yeah.
It's too hard. But I'll just look at Elden Ring and I think, I really want to play it though. I did love Skyrim though, which is the Elder Scrolls one. I loved Skyrim.
Yeah. I didn't like games, man.
I didn't like Oblivion because
Yeah.
Oblivion had a very stupid leveling system where the enemies in the world, like the basic enemies, leveled with you. So you were never overpowered. But that meant if you just got really good at sneaking and an enemy, like their main stat is attack, they'd just be able to beat the fuck out of you in one hit because you're level 20 sneak, level 1 defense, where they're level 20 attack, level 1 sneak. And it's just like, it's just dumb. Like, but that's why Skyrim was so much better, because you could become so OP. And yeah, I put a lot of time into Skyrim. I really love that game.
I've seen so much of it being played because the hippie guy, he freaking loves all that stuff. Yeah, my goth amigo. Done a few podcasts with him on here. He plays all them, like freaking, but always playing Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Elden Ring. They all look the same to me, and they're very slow. It's very much just like have a weapon and swing it. That's all you can do, really. Swing your weapon.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's far too much choice. It hurts my head to even think about it. That's why Star Wars at the moment is quite a fun one, because that's, like you said, it's a longer path, but you can explore it all. And there's different ways to go. So it's a bit like you're playing it, and apparently you're going the right way. You're not completely sure when you're doing it, but there's only really one way you can go.
Yeah.
But you're still not completely sure.
Yeah.
That might just be my lack of understanding. I don't know.
That's also why, like, I liked and I have the remakes. The Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
Because again, they were like RPGs, and they're actiony, and you've got a little bit of movement, a little bit of places to go, but it's still sort of a narrow corridor. Like, here's the area you can explore. It's not very big.
Yeah.
And even though you can go around different planets and do things, they're still sort of just sectioned off.
You don't
have like too big of an area, and it is still a very clear, like, go here, do this. And it might lead on to other things, it might not. But again, Mass Effect games, I love them because, again, I think there's just a little bit more control. Like, I've very poor control instincts. That's why I'm fat. Like, control is not my thing. I need fixed boundaries, please.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds exactly like, I don't think I've played Mass Effect, I've just heard of it. It sounds exactly like the kind of Star Wars thing that does. But do you ever play any, like, the sporty kind of games? Because I can't get into them.
I did. Like, I used to absolutely love Pro Evolution Soccer. I was one of the guys who would literally, I'd be the one buying it, like, release day, paying full price stupidly. And I did that. I remember I got the first one when I bought my PS2, so that was 2000, 2001. And yeah, up till about, God. So I must have got them for like 6 or 7 years. FIFA I never got massively into. I did buy a few, but that was when I used to love football.
I can tell.
I've not really watched football for 10 years, roughly.
Did you watch the World Cup?
No.
Oh, I watched most of that. That was quite good.
No, I just genuinely, I fell out of love with football in a big way. But I will still occasionally play Football Manager.
Oh.
And, like, if a Football Manager is definitely one of those games where it is literally like the definition of a Marmite game for me. You are either fully addicted to it, or you're just this is just a glorified spreadsheet. I don't understand what's happening. And, like,
it feels like the kind of game that should be on your phone rather than, like, having to go into a console to play, though.
Maybe, but, like, I just remember, like, I used to, like, I've had so many over the years. Like, I've not actually physically bought one since 2009, but I have had a few since then, that have been like, again, like the Epic gave away 2020 version for free. I was like, oh, let's try giving it a go. And I was back into it again. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. Because I remember at one point when I was playing like the 2009 version, and I don't know if you've ever had this with games, but this is one I've definitely had it with. You go to sleep and dream of playing the game.
Yeah.
And that is the point where I know, like, okay, I need to stop. I need to not play this for about a week because my mind is physically becoming addicted to it.
Yeah, I have a weird thing. Like, a lot of time when I'm dreaming anyway, I kind of dream, and I don't even game that much. It's a strange thing. Like I can very much kind of dream in game in like a gamey kind of way. Like I'm going to sleep and it's like I'm pressing buttons. I'm not, but it's like I'm kind of pressing buttons to do something in my dream, and then I do it.
Okay.
It's like certain actions and I remember them when I'm in my dream next time. Like for example, I can do like a little grappling hook, or like sometimes a grappling hook, sometimes like a spider web, going forward twice and then going. So like double tap.
Every time you dream, you open up another part of your skill tree.
It's a very bad tree though. Like, you know, it's kind of limp and dying, but it's there.
Maybe this is just the effect that the old the plants have on you.
That's a dream suppressor. So for the longest time, I didn't dream like very much. Because I used to like smoke like just before going to bed. I don't smoke just before going to sleep that much anymore.
Yeah.
And I've just got a better tolerance because, you know, older, stronger, you know.
Tough boy.
Yeah. Not just because my brain's already dead enough, so it can't get any worse at this point.
There's only 3 brain cells left. So they're able to easily dodge.
Exactly. No, but that's one thing though, from what I've seen as well, like smoking bud. It's not as smart to do when you're younger, but once your brain's finished developing, like around a 25 to 28, everyone's different. Then you can tell that it's like since then, like the smoking bud's been different. It's like not that you have more of a tolerance to it. I think it's just your brain's more chill to it.
Right.
Scientific terms, you know.
Yeah.
If you can follow me there, just
yeah. I you use a lot of very complex language.
I know.
So, I have to think.
But you can handle it though.
Yeah. I didn't know it was express it because obviously, you know, the story is always that, you know, people take marijuana to be more creative, so you'd assume that it would kind of unlock like that subconscious, as it were. Because I mean, I don't really. I'm pretty confident I dream, but I don't remember a lot of dreams.
Yeah.
But when I do remember a dream, I remember it for like ever. It's really weird. Like I still remember dreams that I've had as a kid.
Oh wow!
Where I was falling down at my grandma's house, falling down her steps, and it was one of them where it felt so real. Like
it scared you at the time. So
and like you know, where your brain can like comprehend the pain that you would feel. And it's so weird. And like I remember a dream from like a year ago that I had, and it was actually a dream that I was dating another comedian who I know, another Yorkshire comedian, and she said to me in this dream, which is maybe a sign of my fucking psyche. She said to me in this dream, "Callum, we can't be together. I can't make you as happy as you deserve to be." And then I woke up and I was so sad. I was like, wow, what the hell?
Some dreams do that, don't they, man? They like you can wake up the next day and you just proper got that emotion still.
Yeah. And another one, this is like, this must have been when I was I think it was after I'd finished university. So I was back at my mum's and I'd been reading. Do you know Kevin Smith?
I thought you were going to say then, do you know reading? You know what that is, don't you?
I mean, we're going to come on to that next.
Okay.
Do you know Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith was in the director dude.
Yeah.
So
I'd read a couple of his books. And I had a dream that I was hanging out with Kevin Smith. and he was so cool, and he was so nice. And I woke up, and I was so unhappy that I wasn't living my best life being Kevin Smith's best friend. And I was depressed for a day. I was like, motherfucker, that was amazing.
Have you ever had that, like, when you woke up, you've realised a dream was a dream, and you're like, oh, I want to go back into that, gone back to sleep, and been able to go straight back into it?
A couple of times, yeah. I have definitely been able to do that. Unfortunately, not with the Kevin Smith one. That was one of those where I was awake and I was wide awake. I was like, oh no.
It's properly done.
It's more like when, like, if you wake up for a piss.
Like,
oh, and then you go back, and then just try and sort of consciously think about what you were dreaming about to get back into that dream. Yeah.
I mean, it's like waking up for a square of caramel normally, but same thing.
Yeah,
that's one thing Bud does. It speeds up your metabolism, so that's helpful. But with the thing you're on about with the dreams, then with the, like, your mind going with it and that, like, I remember one dream I always remember from being a bit younger. I can't remember how it led to it, but a giant rock fell on my hand and crushed my hand.
Okay.
Woke up instantly, and my hand, until I moved it, was just numb. It was just there. There was no feeling to it, and it was only until I moved it that it came back to normal.
Yeah,
it's just great how the mind works like that.
Brains fucking weird things.
We have like loads of dreams apparently, like, every night, so you don't remember. But everyone, like, doesn't remember most of them. But I was going to mention DMT then. Like, that's the thing that, DMT. Do you know what that is?
Is that no? I'm thinking of CBD. No, it's DMT.
DMT. Do not mix them up, people. Do not mix them up.
DMT is not the one that causes the high, is it? That's not the.
Oh no, you're on about THC. It's nothing to do with nothing to do with bud. It's the drug that our brain releases when we dream.
Okay.
So that's like, but you can also get it as well though, as like a drug to smoke or something.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that because that's just I'm not a hallucinogenic person. I'm not into that. My brain is crazy enough as it is. I don't want to add to it. I've got it at a good kilowatt now. I can point it forward. It's like a ray of light, like a laser or something. I can point it forward, and day by day, I'm like just
become more focused,
streamlining it. Focusing it more. I can't do words yet, but I can do that.
First words, then reading.
Yeah. Like the only times of hallucinogens in the past, the one time when I accidentally tripped out and badly tripped out when the download, like that throws you back. Trust me, it's not good if you had a bad trip.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Take like a year to get over that shit, man.
Jesus. Yeah, my well done. My experience of drugs is very minimal, really, but that's because I've the only one I ever really wanted to try was weed, and I tried it, and it might have just been the weed that I had. It didn't do an awful lot for me. It did make me want to eat a bolognese pizza. I class that as a mistake. It was fucking horrible.
Makes everything taste better though if you do get high with the munchies.
Oh Jesus! It makes me wonder how bad that bolognese pizza tasted. Then,
it to be fair,
nice when I had it. Oh dear! Oh no!
I guarantee I could get you high, but at the same time, not everybody's into it though. It's a different thing. Some people do say that they never feel it, but everyone has said that to me so far, and I've got them high. It's like, you feel it now. My eyes aren't like this for normal.
And but I've never really want to try anything else because, like you say, I wouldn't want to try any hallucinogenics because that's not in the same way. Like, I don't really like drinking. Like, I don't drink. I can't really remember the last time I had a drink. It just doesn't. But it just doesn't. I hate the feeling of being drunk. I don't understand what people get out of it. Really, I get to the point where I think like most people class it as like fresh, where you're just like a little bit.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah,
Bit tipsy.
Yeah, basically, where you're just kind of like a little bit sort of warm, as it were.
Yeah,
it's a little bit loose. I'm like, okay, I'm in a
bit
good
more
spot.
than the 1 pint effect, but not drunk. But you're feeling it a bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're a little bit, for me anyway. You're a little bit louder than you normally are. Like you're a little bit more conversive, but you've not gone because like I sort of fairly quickly hit a wall where I get drunk, and as soon as I get drunk, my stomach hurts, and like I just don't want that. And then it's like, oh, go throw it up. I don't want to throw up. I hate the feeling of throwing up. It's terrible.
This shouldn't
be a fucking this shouldn't be a fucking goal.
Yeah.
I just want to feel a bit nice.
I unlocked a way to drink, because as I got older, I realised I was the same thing. I was never that into drinking because it just made me feel crap the next day or a bit later on the same day. And as I used to have, my migraines were a lot worse before, it would give me headaches straight away. As I've got better with all that, now, literally what I do now, I can drink more because as I'm drinking, I've literally got a bottle of water at the same time. It's like, drink a beer, drink a water, drink a beer. Or shot in, you feel better too if you're just drinking straight spirits.
Yeah.
I
did always find that I could drink more if I drank. I never drank straight spirits, but I'd drink mixers, mainly rum. A good rum and lemonade, or a good rum and ginger beer.
Oh, ginger beer! I've never had that, but that sounds nice. You know, I like my rum. So
# non-spawn, but Kraken rum. And ginger beer. Oh, very good. Very, very good. Or
spiced or dark?
Just dark.
Kraken
dark rum. If you were going to go for spiced, I'd go for the... Captain Morgan.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
As do your kids would also say, I do fuck with that.
Like Captain Morgan, spiced, and lemonade for me is what I go with. Like Kraken and ginger beer, Captain Morgan spice and lemonade. I can drink them for a long time and I won't feel drunk. But it's especially like lager. Just lager, man.
I can understand why that would bother your stomach though.
Yeah.
Have you got any kind of weird stomach things at all? Not IBS, but for example, some people are lactose intolerant and all that.
Maybe I've got an alcohol intolerance. Well, probably not if I can drink a lot of spirits.
Yeah. No, it doesn't sound like it.
I've probably got something wrong with me, but again, we're not going to have anyone look. I've been.
You survived till now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been. It was 3 years ago that I had my hernia surgery. And that was the first time that I've ever been put under. And that was one of the scariest I've ever been. Have you
got that at some point?
I'm still
waiting. No, I've never done it before, but I'm waiting to do it for when I get my mouth replaced.
Yeah,
it just can come at any time now. So,
it's impossible to say anything to take the fear away because there's always going to be that fear. I might die. But
yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to be a lot more chill with that because I take drugs, and I've had that happen sometimes when I've been too drugged and I've suddenly fell onto the floor, and it's like, oh, I might die. Relax.
Yeah,
you get out of it.
That was my thing. Is I've never had this before. I don't know how my body's going to react. I might die. But it was so. You can't even say it was like sleeping because it was. I didn't even get to do the fucking countdown. I was really annoyed at that. All the hospital shows had lied to me. I was just told, keep your eyes open, keep looking at me for as long as you can. And it was literally I just sort of felt my eyes go. And the next thing I know, they're open again. And I'm in a different room.
Oh, wow.
And it's just what?
Yeah. So it's not like you go to sleep. It's literally turning your brain off.
Yeah, it is. It's literally someone just fucking shut down. It's just totally.
See, I'm not afraid of that though. Like you're saying, I understand that you might die thing. I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid of those proper horror stories you hear. Those people that they're paralyzed then after they have it. You know, like they can't move, but they can feel everything.
Yeah.
They're the ones you don't want.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
I suppose it's better than dying in some way, actually, but dying's very absolute, isn't it? Actually,
yeah, it's pretty final. I mean, unless you're Buddhist, you
know.
Yeah, but like when I came back around, you are like you're massively groggy, and I imagine it'll be although, yeah, if they're doing your mouth, I don't really know what they're going to do. Are they going to have to put
being knocked out
tube in you or something if they're fucking about your mouth?
I don't know. They haven't fucking told me anything yet.
Yeah, but like I woke up and like my throat was so sore because they give you the gas and air while you're under, and it just completely dried my tubes out. And I just had to keep drinking. And now what they don't tell you. So they're like, okay, how are you feeling? And I'm obviously like, shit. Whereas like there was another guy who'd, I think, had been in after me, because this was basically like a hernia surgery ward that I was on. Another guy who'd been in after me, who I later found out was like his third surgery that he'd had. He was up and about, moving, and I was like, what's wrong with you, mate? And then they kept, apparently so, but they kept asking him, like, have you been to the toilet? And he was like, yeah, can I go now? While I was like, and so then the nurses, they keep coming over to you. Have you been to the toilet yet? I was like, oh no, I've not even felt the need to. I was like, and they say to you, like,
wee.
Because like we can't let you go until you've been to the toilet. And I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. Okay.
Is it because the hernia's down like that kind of place, so that it's the muscles? Do you want to make sure you won't pop it back open when you use them again?
So it's not. It wasn't to do with the hernia surgery. It was to do with the anaesthetic.
Oh.
So the time comes, my bladder sends a signal that goes, hey, you need a pee. And I'm like, okay, I've still got the one thing that does suck, having I think it's the cannula.
Yeah.
Man, nah, didn't like that. In or out, that was not fun.
Yeah.
I have the blood taken and shit, but that didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I've seen a few people with that. I have very good veins, so it's easy for me.
I've got good veins, but it hurts. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've had that before.
Yeah, that I do not like a cannula. But anyway, so I've got my thing. I'm dragging it with me, like some, whatever.
Yeah.
Take it to the toilet, and I try and stand, but I'm still a bit like, so I sit down. Right, I'm ready to pee. And my brain was ready to pee, and my bladder was ready to pee. But somewhere in between, those messages weren't meeting. And I was like, oh, I think I understand why now. And it's really hard to describe. And maybe this is the way that women do it. Kind of had to like
relax.
Like, not even relax. I had to force, like, in the same way.
Oh, you went the other way. You went the other way.
Okay. Not meant to do with a poo. I literally, it was.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I can't really describe it, but it was literally like trying to force a shit out of my dick.
Did something like I'm trying to think of them. It's not going to be like something thick like a poop, but did anything with more of a consistency come out?
No, it was just normal way. But so then because obviously I had my phone with me, and I had to look into it, and it is it's something like
not your muscles relax.
PAUR, post anesthesia urinary retention or something like that.
Right.
And it is basically the anesthetic fucks with the signals that are going, and it makes it incredibly hard for you to urinate in some circumstances, which is what happened to me. And so I managed to do it, and it was, and I went back. My mum looked after me because this was also at a time like I'd just broken up with my wife, so literally my last day living in the house that we used to share, because we were still friends and we still talk.
Yeah.
And so we'd kind of broken up a few months before, but I was still living there while we trying to find somewhere new. And then she drove me to the hospital on operation day, and then my mum took me back to hers that same day later on. And yeah, you've not lived until for about 3 days you have to physically concentrate on trying to piss.
Oh, so it's not a quick thing, it keeps going then.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 days. And then, of course, there is the matter of pooing.
Oh.
And it also fucks with that as well.
Oh, okay. Is that what the doctor said, though? The best thing to do is to force it,
I didn't take advice. I was just like, I need to get this out. Because if you don't get it out, the reason that they need you to pee is obviously to prove that, there's no issues there. Because if you can't pee...
Empty your bladder.
Essentially your bladder could explode because it can't release, and they have to go in and
they go in that way as well, don't they?
Yeah, and release. I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I will do whatever it takes to not have this.
I swear Nate had that in some manner when he was what was it he had recently wrong with his pee-pee? He had something wrong with his pee-pee. Kidney stones, that was it. Ooh. He had kidney stones. He had one stuck or something broke apart in there.
Ooh. Yeah,
he had,
I imagine that's not fun.
The whole time I imagined he had like a string sticking out of his dick, like a tampon.
Like a tampon.
Yeah. The only thing that made sense to me when he was describing it.
Yeah.
And then he didn't, but then when he had like some temporary one in there or something in between doing something, he ended up having a string sticking out.
Yeah.
You have to respect it though. Duso managed to have sex. Like, men go through many things can happen, but we will always find a way to be okay to have sex.
Yeah. Hate it, the truth. If you needed further proof that we are animals,
that's the reason that the planet has, that we have become the dominant species on the planet, though, is because we're horny fox.
Yeah.
We want to have sex, and it's procreation, population, multiplication.
I mean, I think we need to ease back on it a little bit.
Oh yeah, now we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Wrap it up a few more times, guys. Eh?
Yeah.
I'm doing my bit. I have no children. You're welcome, planet Earth.
I can't say anything there.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe one. I got 2 boys. Maybe one of them will be gay. Who knows?
Here's hoping.
I wanted a girl at one point, and then that's when I had 2 boys. I was like, one might be gay. To be fair, they can be a daughter then.
Oh, that's a fun line to take that I'm not going to touch on.
I think that's okay to say, isn't it? That doesn't sound bad to me. Does it?
Of course it doesn't sound bad to you. That's why you said it.
Well, yeah. That is my worst thing with the comedy. If I think it's okay, then that's pretty much my line.
And unfortunately, your decency line is set at a very different level to a lot of other people.
In all honesty, I think it's fine when that kind of stuff, as long as you can normally tell how somebody really means something. Do you know what I mean? If they're being a douche, and everyone knows. I'm lovely.
You can tell when something comes from a place of hate rather than a kind of. So, obviously, I can't really say our job because it's not our job, but our minds.
We get paid sometimes.
Sometimes not as much as we get promised, but that's yeah. But it's our minds working that way. It's here's the thing. What's funny about this thing? Let me try and think of some ways that this is weird. The way that your mind just immediately goes here's a little spin on that. This is like out of the ordinary, and here's a little, but here's why maybe, or here's a turn of phrase or something.
It's a defense mechanism as well, though. I think more than anything, because like was saying before, like with all the stuff in the world, it's like a way to. It's good because it's like endless material. But well, the one thing when you were saying that earlier, actually bookend back to the beginning, with like topical stuff. Like when I talk about topical things like myself, I try to like steer away from certain things like politics, as you mentioned. Like that's divisive, any man. Half think one thing. As soon as you put that there, then you've got like they can laugh over there, but if they laugh over there, these ones with your opinion can't laugh because then they're agreeing with them ones.
Yeah.
Same with conspiracy theories as well. Weirdly.
Yes. Yeah, it is like you say, it's a defense mechanism or it's a coping mechanism. Yeah. Look, things are incredibly shit. Here's why it's funny. Oh, and like I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned before, but I can't remember. But like one of the reasons that I got into comedy is just that I want to make other people laugh in that same way that you see that like Robin Williams quote about like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's basically okay. You don't want you know what it feels like to feel incredibly low, feel incredibly bad, and you don't want anybody else to feel like that.
Yeah.
So for the amount of time that you interact with them, for those 5, 10, 15, whatever minutes, you want to be the one that's making them happy for that time that you're interacting with them. You want to take their minds off whatever they're thinking.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I want to do it.
Yeah, I understand that too. I think it's definitely like very much a something you learn more as well, which makes even more sense with Robin Williams, like a depression thing too. That is when you're in really low, you really don't want other people like. Yeah. A lot of time, T. Dettman though, but when it comes to actually kind of works for comedy, actually thinking about it, how I perfectly T. Dettman. So yeah. No, in my opinion, the world ain't that bad. It's as long as you don't take it too seriously. And the world's a joke, in my opinion, so I don't take it seriously.
What a perfect note to end on.
There you go, yeah. Andrew Tate for president 2029.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Not so good.
I immediately disassociate myself from this podcast. No.
I don't really like
Team
Andrew
Greta,
Tate.
baby. Team
Oh,
Greta,
yeah,
Team
yeah.
Pizza.
Small dick energy.
Andrew Tate is the living embodiment of small dick energy.
He really is, yeah.
Piece of shit.
And he looks so strange as well with his shaved head. Like, he's one that looks like a penis as well from behind, but he looks like a thin pencil penis. That penis that anyone wants.
Yeah. Absolute fucking needle dick.
We're talking about penises that nobody wants. Would you like to insert your plugs right now?
God. I enjoyed that far more than I wanted to. I mean, I've not really got a lot of stuff coming up. I've got a gig in Sheffield at Indigo on January the 26th.
Ooh.
I've got another gig in Sheffield at Picture House Comedy on February the 13th. I have another gig in Sheffield. I don't even live in Sheffield. I live an hour away from Sheffield. That's is an indication of the Yorkshire comedy scene.
I'm getting a motorbike soon, so I'll be able to travel a lot more. So I'll be coming up there more.
Oh, Jesus. Another gig at Sheffield, which is where this is actually a newer thing that I do, which is not a sort of solo stand-up thing. This is called the Forbidden Playroom, wherein myself and a mutual friend of ours, Stuart Dunlop,
Stuart.
We essentially host a kind of it's essentially a live action panel show, only it's all weird and crazy. We play games. We get the competitors who can be anything from comedians to improvisers to poets to musicians, anything, any form of entertainer. And we get them to take part in the stupid games. And we also get the audience involved as well. And if you would like to find out more about that, you can follow Two Strangers Productions on Facebook and Instagram. Or you can also follow me at Callum Jarvis-Jones VO on Instagram. And otherwise...
VO stands for very old.
I'm gonna nick that. I'm stealing that line. Yeah,
I would definitely ask for more. I would definitely ask for more news on that, and I will ask to know how to take part in that. That sounds fun.
How to take part in that? It's still essentially in like trial stage at the moment. So we did one back in September. And we just did one. When did we do it? Last week? Was it last week? Oh my God, where is the time going? Yeah, last Thursday we did one. So it's still kind of finding its feet at the minute, and we're trying to get more of an audience.
Yeah.
Because audiences have been quite small because it's it's a new thing and it's quite weird.
It takes time, man.
Yeah. But when we're in a bit more of a role, then obviously
opening it up more than that.
Yeah, just message me and Stu. Although we've technically sort of got like a list of people who want to get on, and you're on that. So
when you said a list of people we want to get on, I'm like, well, I hope I'm on that list.
Yeah. But it is right now. What we're trying to do is get people close by, so we can keep ironing out things with it, figuring it out what we need to do.
And especially if you're building up the audience, you don't want people traveling too far. I can get what you mean there. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, hopefully it's got some legs because it's good, weird fun. Yeah, it is. It's good, weird fun. So yeah, hopefully we can start steamrolling with this bad boy.
Talking about random weirdness, like I've said that I'm not going to do much promoting this year. That's one thing I'm not going to do. Going to focus on like performing in that. But I've already gone against that because I'm going to do a quiz off on the first. So if you fancy doing it, let me know if you're free.
When's the first of February?
Yeah, online, not in person, because that was a lot of work.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? What, driving as well. Driving back from that, the fucking Midlands, and they love to close a motorway after 10 o'clock at night. Oh, they love it, they do.
Oh, you know about that.
Cunts. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
I shall have to let you know on that.
Yeah.
We will see, but we will see.
And of course, my things you're already here, you're already listening. KD Comedy Inc. on YouTube, on Spotify and Apple, all those things. This one, the In Your House Comedy Podcast, and the Kildom Comedy Podcast with Nathan Parrish. I think that's it. We're getting more views lately. Like last month, I had over 1,000 downloads on this channel.
Oh,
yeah. People like to listen to us. I like it in my ear.
I hope this has the least.
It might do.
It might do. Who knows? Because no fucking knows who I am. So
nobody knows who any of us are. Let's be honest. No. But for them listening though, in future world from where we are now, thank you and good night.
Bye.
Very evil.